Fellow countrymen, in just a matter of time, the Zambian Parliament is going to table the controversial Amendment Bill number 10. I would like to make a few statements concerning two very important sectors of our society that are being represented in this bill that is to be discussed. That is our women folk and those of our friends who are physically handicapped. Let me start with our women folk. The clause that has been placed there that recognizes the women's role and participation in national affairs is definitely something that my party and myself as an individual support. All my life, I have always believed that the best way to run any institution and government for that matter is to ensure that we place the woman where she rightly belongs, right in the middle of decision making. Right from our homes, the decision-making process involves the woman, and to some extent, she chairs the meetings. And I would like to believe that Zambia is not going to make any progress until the place of women is established not only in our homes, but in our nation as well. There's no fight that has yet begun to change our nation until the women folk join the fight. We are not able to win this fight that we've started, or fight for freedom, fight for inclusion, fight for prosperity as a nation, until we place the women where they rightly belong. I also want to mention concerning our friends who are challenged, physically challenged. There's a clause there that admits them to have a possibility of becoming part of parliament so that they can also be represented. I wish to put it on record that I support that. My party supports that. However, I want to make it very, very clear that we have to choose, besides those inclusions and the peace and the unity of the nation as we go towards 2021. There is no consensus on bill number 10. It's a bill that has brought deep divisions within our country. And there is no reason why Zambia must go to 2021 election in a divided manner. There's nothing right that will be done beyond 2021. There will be fighting, and there will be disagreements, and we'll be wasting the valuable time of looking at matters of development and moving forward. I want to speak to my colleagues in the politics of today. Number one, in my own party, the New Hope Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, my constitution doesn't have to tell me to be equitable to women or to those who are physically handicapped. But up today, as I speak, the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy boasts over 50% representation of women in our National Executive Committee. My history in the church talks about the great number of women that have played major roles and continue to play major roles in my organization. I believe that women must participate fully, and becoming president next year, my word is going to remain firm that women are going to participate in the affairs of this country at the same level that men do. And there's no reason for the opposite of that. There's nothing in my history that shows something contrary to what I've stated today. But at the expense of peace and unity, I think that I would rather we push for a leadership of morality and integrity that has honor and respect for the female, for the women, so that they can fully participate. I give my word to the nation that we will ensure that we continue with the belief and the faith we have in the women. My colleagues who are physically challenged, you are also aware that with a law or without a law, it takes a leader with a heart for those who are disadvantaged. I was only vice president when I realized that the physically challenged people in our nation needed the same rights as all the other citizens of this country. I realized that it was important for them to know what was going on in the country in terms of news. I pushed that Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation does not only read the news, but they also have sign language in the corner of the television set so that those who cannot hear can also listen to the news. And that is still running on ZNBC from my days in office. Those who are physically handicapped understand and remember that when they came to my office, I dealt with their needs by ensuring that some of the government buildings and properties that had no facilities for wheelchairs, we facilitated that they make ramps in public places so that those who cannot walk on their own can wheel themselves into the properties. You remember that when I was in office as vice president, cabinet office was for many days surrounded by people who were physically challenged because they knew that I was going to listen to their needs. And I think this is what is expected of all of us in leadership, that those who are disadvantaged, we still can serve them with or without a constitutional provision. My appeal to all our brothers and sisters that have got clauses in this bill that are reasonable and that are necessary for the sake of peace and unity as we go towards this election, we are able to defer this bill. We must defer this bill to a time when consensus can be reached, so that even the privileges that are given to the women and to the physically handicapped can be enjoyed in an atmosphere of peace and safety. We therefore commit ourselves to working together with the women folk and those who are physically challenged in our country. They are our priority, and we ensure that they get their fair share in the national cake of our country. I thank you, and God bless you.